Good morning. Sorry, I didn't realise it started without me. My name is Dave Crane. Welcome to another Turbo Daily. And I promised today to show you the secrets of life, love, and European Union. Now, if you've been under a stone, then you probably realise that everything is exactly as you left it. But if you've been checking the news over the last 24 or 48 hours, when you realise that Britain has voted to leave the European Union, there was a couple of things I want to say about that, and I don't want to get into the politics of it, because I have lots of friends from lots of different countries, nationalities, and I think that one of the things that is different now than different years ago is the idea of a border between countries is completely different from the way it used to be. Physically, yeah, there are borders that you need to get your passport stamped and visas and stuff like that, but as far as the internet goes, we're all connected as one global village. So you can have a relationship, even a business relationship, certainly a digital business relationship, with almost anybody around the world, doesn't matter who they are or where they're from. So a lot of paranoia and jingoism that's starting to come out isn't quite as well founded as it was before. Also, another thing I want to say is, I'm making Maya, I'm over here, making Maya my daughter's breakfast as we're talking. If that's okay with you, I don't, otherwise I'll stop. If you don't want me to do that, then I'll carry on, just let me know. Okay, but she's upstairs and she's watching some cartoon stuff. And I just thought I'd come down and make breakfast and have a quick chat with you. So, one thing that has been happening is everyone's talking so much about how they don't feel comfortable with France and Germany and blah, 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 making all the decisions on behalf of Britain. Now, I'm a British citizen, but I live overseas now. So, for me, I made a decision a long time ago that I would become an expat, or I've been told that the term now is an economic migrant. I never thought of myself as an economic migrant living in Dubai, but anyway, that's your choice. But what we didn't say is they don't feel European. What we're saying is they don't want to be part of the European Union. That's a massive difference. So, for instance, I feel very close. I feel close to a lot of different countries, but I do feel very close to my friends from France and Germany and Portugal and blah, 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 and a lot of friends like that. But it's not necessarily saying that, we don't like you anymore, we don't want to play with you. All that's actually being said, in my opinion, is like when you don't want to live in your parents' house, and you kind of grow out of it, and you say, look, I love you, but your rules don't apply to me anymore because I can't buy into it. Do you mind if I just move out? And we'll just see each other on a weekend. And we'll make sure that when we do have a relationship, it's based on the stuff that we actually want to do, as opposed to things we've always done before, that maybe didn't work quite as well. Sorry. Does that make sense to you? Okay. So, with that in mind, I think there's a lot of storms and teacups that need to be sorted out because people have got to get their head around the idea. Now, also, if you are really worried on lots of different levels about the whole idea of the European Union collapsing, which you may well still do, if you're a Brit and you're going, this is terrible, how can we go it alone? Well, take it back 50 years ago. Singapore went through exactly the same thing. They were underneath part of the British Commonwealth, British Empire, and they said, look, we can go it alone, we can do it differently. And so they joined close with Malaysia. And so they decided, hey, we can do this with Malaysia. We're next to each other, we're brother and sister. Let's start our own world going, and economically we were much stronger. And they tried it for a while and didn't work, and Malaysia booted them out. That's 50 years ago. Now, they had to then reinvent themselves as a completely different country without any help from anybody else. And now they're one of the powerhouses on the planet. Singapore financially is fantastic, and ethically, economically, and the relationship with everybody is so strong that nobody's going to turn around and say you didn't get it right. And if you're wondering, behind me, this is something on Maya made for school. It's not just some creepy thing in the background like Ghostbusters. There you go. It's like an owl made out of a paper plate with ears stuck on from another paper plate. Okay, so if you're freaking out, I'll put it here. You don't have to worry anymore. I'll carry on with what I'm talking about. So, how could this whole thing come about? And why is it we've got such an incredible backlash for everybody involved? And people saying, oh my goodness, that means that Scotland's going to leave, and Wales is going to leave, and Ireland's going to leave. And from now on, we won't be called the United Kingdom, we'll just be called the Kingdom. And it's going to be England, and so on. Well, I'm not going to go near any of the politics of that. Hold on, just let me get some milk for Maya. And then I'll go upstairs. And just talk amongst yourselves while I disappear. Gonna get a cup. And pour out some milk to go for peanut butter sandwiches. And if you're fasting right now, I apologise. I'm going to go to the gym in a minute, which is why I'm wearing my gym gear. But needs must, my daughter's 5. And she's demanding while she watches telly, Daddy, go and make me some breakfast. And who am I to argue with that? Compared to what happened with the European Union yesterday, She's not going to leave the house. She's still going to be my daughter, so that's okay. So, get my head around the whole idea. I wanted to share with you something that I share with all my clients whenever I'm doing a motivation session and whenever I'm talking to people about mindset. And it would have been very useful if the people who are running the European Union had thought about this before it all hit the fan, because it's sort of like almost no way back now, to be honest with you. Britain's wondering where it goes now. European Union is deciding, are we still going to exist? And who else is going to be next? Because Britain was the second biggest economy in terms of the Union after Germany. Other people are going to say, maybe we should go on our own. But anyway, that's their choice. Here's what should have happened from the very beginning. So if you're thinking about it in terms of your relationship, your business, your partner, your kids, or even when you go out shopping, anything, this is a very useful mindset to have. And I'll share it with my lovely daughter, my lovely dog Ash. Hello Ash. Say hi. Not big on cameras. I've got to ring a agent before I do anything. Okay, here's the mindset that you should have before you deal with anybody in the world. The only thing that anybody cares about is one thing. Here it is. It's a phrase. What's in it for me? That's it. What's in it for me? People are horribly selfish, but they're not horribly selfish. They're not non-benevolent and don't want to help everybody else. But it all comes down to one thing, and I want to prove it to you. Do you give money to charity on a regular basis? Probably. Or maybe not, I don't know. If you do give money to charity, what's it to? Is it like to pets? To make sure that pets don't get left without any care? Or is it for kids have no food and no parents and you give to them to make sure they're okay? It could be a whole range of different things. But why do you do it? I've tested this a number of times, especially over the last couple of days when I was doing that motivational session with my friends over in Fujairah. Okay, let's move to the living room now. I'll do this with you. So, why is it you give money to charity? Is it because it helps the charity? Is it because of the fact that these dogs or these people or this organisation can't make money on their own? Yes, it is. It's a lot of different things. I'm not saying they're not worthy. But what I will say is ultimately it comes down to one thing. Well, think about it. You give money to charity because ultimately it makes you feel good to help other people. So despite everything, you're doing something for other people because you're saying, what's in it for me? What's in it for me is I feel good giving to charity. That's why I give to charity. So when it comes around to a relationship with anybody, rather than saying, I demand this, I've got loads of money, you should love me, or I've got loads of contacts, you should hang around with me, or look at the history of what I've done in the past, you should be working with me, all those different things, you have to take a step back and say, from the point of view of that other person, are they thinking, what's in it for me? If so, what is in it for them? We know what's in it for you, that's why you're getting to start a relationship. But ultimately, with everything, what's in it for you? What's in it for them? With that in mind, everything could have been different. The signs were there with the European Union that people were not happy in the UK. And people were not happy in many other things. Many other countries that talk about their economic situation, with the decisions that were being made from a global point of view or a head office point of view that didn't filter down to everybody, and the migration of people across borders that would then have to be looked after, and refugees. There's a ton of different things that we debated for many, many years. But ultimately, somebody needed to say, right, UK, you're going to be thinking, what's in it for me? And if you're only thinking about what's in it for everybody, then are you really surprised when somebody turns around and says, this doesn't work for me anymore, guys, I'm off. Now, I'm not going to talk about politics, like I said. I've probably touched on a few bits and pieces, but for me, I've got loads of friends from different nationalities, and I'll stay friends with them regardless of whether we're doing business with them or not. But have a think about that one phrase, what's in it for me, and start applying it to all your clients, all your friends, all your relationships, because ultimately, that's what they're thinking about. They might not put it as blatant as that, but they are thinking, my relationship with you can't just be a one-way street. It has to be two ways. I give, but if you don't give anything back to me, I have to stop doing it. Time is too short. Relationships are too difficult to keep going. There's always other options at some point, and what you don't want is those people to start finding the other options and then comparing them to you. So from a very, very early start, from today onwards, with every relationship you have, analysing the way that you do business and analysing the way that you do your marketing, forget telling people how great you are. think about it from their point of view, and they will be asking the question, fine, but what's in it for me? That's it. That's what's in it for me. I just thought I'd share that with you. Not a particularly funny episode. I thought I'd take you a little wander. I'm now finished making Maya's breakfast. Have a look at this. All the food groups represented. She's got peanut butter, got a glass of milk, and she's going to be watching TV upstairs, and Daddy will sit there patiently doing his emails until it's time to do something else. Or maybe I'll go to the gym. Yeah, maybe I should go to the gym. Alright, have a wonderful day. Share this with everybody. Make sure you leave your comments. Let me know how you think about it. And if you subscribe to my regular videos, you'll find out when I'm going live, and you can share that amongst the world. Alright, see you later. Ciao, be good. Bye.